material nature. And listening is also one of the senses that we are using in material nature. So there are, you know, types of songs which are enlivening, and there are blues also, right? And we move. So who controls those? So we should understand the influence of the three modes of material nature that is so overpowering and make our plans of enjoyment fall. So Purusha Prakriti Skopi, Bhukte Prakriti Jan Guna. He is interacting with the three modes only. Whether he is enjoying or not, it's a different situation. Of hallucination, one may think that he's the king and he's enjoying all. But this thinking doesn't match because these modes are so powerful that we need to understand the pressure has it. The Karanam Guna Sangasya, the cause of our existence in this material world is a Guna Sangha. Guna Sangha. And there's a beautiful present. How do you get rid of Guna Sangha? Radhikara Charana Padma Kevala Shreya Sadma. Sadma means residence. Shreya means permanent benefit, not temporary. And taking shelter of the holy name Hare Krishna. Hara means but through the potency, a potential can be obtained. We are also potency, we are not potential. So Karanam Guna Sangasya Sadasadyoni Janmashu. We end up into the different species of life, whether it is Satyoni or Asatyoni. Asatyoni is of demons. Satyoni may be of a virtuous demigod. But it is the main reason is the cause of our association with the modes of material nature that dictate us, whether in a household life, brahmachari life, vanapasta life, or but sannyasis are supposed to be overpowering these modes of material nature by keeping themselves in constant association with the pure mode. So they will not only benefit themselves, but they will also give benefit to others. Encourage them to rise above the three modes of material nature, because you are not material. You are eternal part and parcel of the Supreme and transcendental to the three modes of material. Why do you have to undergo this tribulation or crossing or dancing like Kataputali in the hands of mind? So this topic has been just taken for the sake of re-evaluating our say way of life or style of life and try to correct it. Please listen carefully, I will go fast. Although peer pressure does not necessarily have to be negative. The term pressure implies that the process of influence people to do things that they may be resistant to or might not otherwise choose to do. But it certainly has this pressure. You are known by the company you keep. What does company do? Exert some pressure of those particular modes. So usually the term peer pressure refers to socially undesirable behaviors, such as experimentation with sex, alcohol, and drug use. Rather than socially desirable behaviors such as advancement by academic success, moral, religious, and spiritual activities. Consider the following. Someone said, all women have abortions if they want. The whole American society went to this by permitting abortion, freedom, and now they are regretting, and they want to withdraw and put up stricture on no abortion. They won't have to tell their families, even their husbands. And we said, okay, we made laws for that. Then someone wise government official said, since boys will be boys and they are going to do anyway, let's give them men all the condom they want, so they can have all the fun that they have. And we say, okay. Yeah. Right from grade 9, the children are given free in the schools. Then someone of our top elected officials said, it doesn't matter what we do in private as long as we do our jobs. Agreeing with them, we said, it doesn't matter to me what anyone, including the president, does in private. This was made during time of John Kennedy. I'm not Clinton, yes. As long as I have the job and economy, do the help. Then the environment, entertainment industry says, let's make TV shows and movies that promote profanity, violence, and illicit sex. Let's record music that encourages rape, drugs, murder, suicide, and satanic things. And we say it's just entertainment. It has no adverse effect. Nobody takes it seriously anyway. So go right ahead, make money. Now we are asking ourselves why our society has no conscience. Why our society has no conscience? Why people don't know right from wrong, and why it doesn't bother them to kill strangers, their families, and even themselves? Is it any lie there? Or we have been bombarded every day in and out of this. How does peer pressure affect us? According to the families and situations we are born into, we may be affected by different modes of nature by the peer pressure. So there are 3 examples. If we are born into a disruptive or dysfunctional family, involved in intoxication, illicit activities, sex, gambling, and meat eating, we will be negatively impacted by this peer pressure into similar activities. Even though in that circumstance, yadyada charati shrestha tattva eveta vrja. Sayat pramanam gurute lokas tadanu vardate. It applies to a nuclear family even. Disruptive family. If we are born into a successful and ambitious family, we will be affected by attachment to careers, family, and enjoying life. Will be characterized by never finding true satisfaction despite material so-called success. This whole material life is an animalistic society. So, Vidvaraha Kara Ustrai Sanstuti Narapashu Yakarna Patope Thur Jatu. Our society is like the representations of doggy's mentality, hoggie's mentality, camel mentality, and ass mentality. They glorify each other. So we also glorify each other. A dog is glorified by others in his eating habit. And all these four are also in one subject, eating habit, are glorified. Sanstuti, Narapashu. means glorification of a human animal. So, dog, the example is given in Indian circumstances that the kitchen part is towards the end of the house and it has an open backyard. So anything, refuse and other things can be easily disposed. But the dog is waiting in the backyard and somebody is cooking. As soon as she goes away and cook, the dog is entered, steals, and goes and run fast. Where nobody is there. And then vomits out. And then again start eating. This is called a Vantasi mentality. To eat again, once it is engulfed, what's the blow? And other thing is done. And Prahlad Maharaj is instructed, they say, chewing the chewed, where there is no juice. Matimna Krishna Sata Pargova Vitobitana Adant Gobi Vishadanta Mishram Punas Vitam Chavana. Chewing the chew, yet nobody wants to give up chewing. It's ridiculous comes like that. Chewing the chew. Only flavor was there. The sugar content already went in. But yet, then a time was there where chewing gums were banned, not to be eaten anywhere. Because the kids and everybody chew the gum and leave right on the floor or somewhere, stick under So it becomes a vicious problem and government has to pass law. Chewing in public is, offensive. Anyway, so this dog is ending up chewing the chew and he thinks he's so this peculiarity of eating habit is glorified for the dog. Second is give him hot halwa, but he will prefer only hot stew. That is his peculiarity. The third one is camel. He eats thorny bushes, which penetrates his tongue and oozing out blood, but he thinks, it tastes very nice. So he's chewing his habit is, mixed with his own blood, as if he's putting tomato ketchup. And the fourth one is S. S works hard. Just for little grass. Prabhupada said, the S doesn't know the grass is everywhere. Why does he have to work hard to eat little grass? So this kind of mentality is there. Swalvit Varahat, Ustre Kara. Not a Pashu. Yet, they never care to listen to the topics of the transcendental nature of so men like such mentality, they do not care. So you can't hope much from them. All right. So if we are fortunate to be born in a pious and religious family, we will be influenced by more of goodness to act piously. We will be able to act according to the proper and religious conduct. Now, see this important. The choice is ours, right? What effects does the peer pressure have? This influences the peer pressure of modes of nature is endemic in this material world, with the exception of few fortunate souls who take up the process of purification from material attachment by devotional service. So in Bhagavad Gita, 14th chapter, 5 to 13 verses are very important. They say material nature consists of three modes of goodness, passion, and ignorance. When eternal living entity comes in contact with nature, Almighty Arjuna, he becomes conditioned by these modes. We are conditioned by the modes. And then we are looking for ideal for grasp. Check out for ourselves. All sinless one, the mode of goodness being pure and the other is illuminating, and it frees one from all sinful reactions. Those situated in this mode become conditioned by a sense of happiness and knowledge. That is the mode of goodness. Sense of happiness and knowledge. These two are resultant things that come. Mode of passion is born of unlimited desires and longing, also of complete, and because of this, the embodied living entity is bound to material possession. Oh, I'm so busy. I don't have time, even for my children. What can I do in this competitive world? We have to keep pace with the society. But children are going to, they are part of the society. They are going to be the future of the society. We don't have time for that. That's not good. O son of Bharat, know that the mode of darkness, born of ignorance, is delusion of all embodied living entities. The result of this mode are madness, indolence, and sleep, which bind the conditions of it. Sometimes the mode of goodness becomes prominent, defeating the mode of passion and ignorance. O son of Bharat, sometimes the mode of passion defeats goodness and ignorance, and other times ignorance defeats goodness and passion. In this way, there is always competition for supremacy of predominance of the mode. They compete within each other. The manifestation of mode of goodness can be experienced when all the gates of the body are illuminated by knowledge. How many gates we have? 9. And all gates have to be illuminated. The gates bulbs should not be out. They must be aware. Because they are the gates of lower mode. But if they are aware, they say, oh, when a person dies with open mouth, then we consider him that he has gone to a higher status of life. One who leaves the body, in fear, generally they pass to, and their life force has gone through that. Why all this life? If all the gates are illuminated by the knowledge and perspective, that they are not subjugated to those kind of, conditions at the time of death. They have to be controlled. Even Krishna makes arrangement. It is the function of the demigods to control all the internal activities of our body. You'll be surprised. It is said in the Shastra, Lord Ganesh is controlling the gate of the lower gate passing the street. Most of the people who are in bodily conception of life, they generally pass to while living the body. It's ignorance. If that gate is illuminated by control and everything, then you would not suffer. In Ayurveda, all these things are done. It's not orthodox. But because Krishna is caring, we must see what is the reference and how do we understand this. O chief of the Bharatas, when there is an increase in the mode of passion, the symptoms of great attachment, fruitive activity, intense endeavor, and uncontrollable desire and hankering develop. When there is an increase in the mode of ignorance, also of guru, darkness, inertia, madness, and illusion. So these symptoms are manifesting. When the symptoms manifest, the doctor says you have this disease. If the doctors can do it, but doctors do not think of in the terms of the clause of association with those modes. I don't think they are not understanding. Ayurveda, mode of passion makes us want to fit in with the group and not to be left out, despite what they may be doing. We don't consider. So, man is known by the company he keeps, and he will develop that influence. Mode of ignorance makes us not care to discriminate what we are doing or going to do, whether it is good for us or bad for us. No discrimination. Mode of goodness allows us to use our intelligence to determine what action will be for our long-term benefit. That is it. Understand that it's easy to, yeah? Okay. There is a stimulus. The stimulus is the mode. We give response. It's governed by the previous subconscious conditioning that we carry through the mind, agency of mind, intelligence, and ego. They travel with us into another plane. So depends upon what kind of desire we left at the time of quitting the body. We'll certainly get into that mode. So modes are also coming as a resultant lifestyle in all previous life. Well, that's okay. That's not a thing. I'm too much temper. You think home?
No. Just for a campaign.
Okay. So the subconscious conditioning is playing an important. So the mode of ignorance, mode of passion, if our previous condition, most of us are born in mode of passion and ignorance. There is a little tinge of goodness which will be carrying out in our next life. The stimulus for use of intelligence, a discriminating faculty, puts up into a position of that is assisted by the positive life transitions. That is called sanskara. For coming into more of passion and ignorance, you do not need sanskara. But those in a civilized society, we are given 16 sanskaras to develop more of goodness. Right? So that is the function of the mode of goodness. And then we see, listen this equation very carefully. The tree of the life, or the effect of the peer pressure that we are discussing. Peer pressure brings on habits that affect one's destiny. How? Sow a thought, reap an action. Sow an action, reap a habit. Sow a habit, reap a character. And sow a character, reap a destiny. Got the idea? So, right from the thought, we have to build the characters. What kind of thought? So, when you read Bhagavad Gita, you will have a thought of pure Buddha. When you chant Hare Krishna, you will have the transcendental mode, not even mode of goodness, transcendent. Everybody should understand why we are told, because we don't want to be victimized by the modes of passion and ignorance. So devotional service must be done in happy mood of goodness. But that will help you to transcend parasattva, that is superior mode, and that is pure goodness. Only Lord Vishnu has. So you are coming closer to Lord Vishnu. And Vishuddha Sattva, you will transcend even that Adhyatma or spiritual mode into the status of Krishna consciousness. Then Krishna is always staying in mode of pure goodness. Sattvam Vishuddham Vasudeva Sattva. So Krishna is Vishuddha Sattva. And this is Lord Shiva is explaining to Parvati. Listen, Lord Krishna is not like us in the material modes. Vishuddha Sattva. So we go further. Why not just join and become part of our group? Groupism. In society, there are various groups, various clubs. And they were also saying in the beginning, there are various clubs in his phone also. They were criticizing, did you see in the beginning? What? Ghat bathing club. What? Ghat bathing club. That means, a built up area where you go in the river, the steps are called ghat. Okay? And they all want to go and try to, be in that group. So the GBCs will be fine in one group, then assistant I have another group, then commoners, the presidents have another group. But this group are supposed to think of mode of pure goodness only. Every level, right from an individual temple to the hierarchy, there may be group association is required. But this is a positive application of the mode of transcendence. Prabhupada said, what should GBC do when they meet? They do Krishna Katha and they took out what is next year's. They take the notes, what we did achieve so far. This is all. These three cardinal instructions Srila Prabhupada said, this is the case. So everyone scrutinizingly study the resolutions that have been passed, whether it will benefit of the society, whether any misunderstandings of or taking disadvantage of any weakness in governance is there, then it should be corrected. So only on a positive note, groups are there, but they are not like useless group, and they have yet. This diversification is for the unity of Krishna consciousness. That should be the aim. So they also select out newer and sincere devotees to be added in the groups. After all, if everybody does it, it can't be that bad. It applies to every group in those particular modes. Our ISKCON group must transcend the mode of goodness and at least active remain in Parasattva state. If Parasattva is anticipated from them. And it is for even the president has to. Why bad habits are bad, even though they feel good? You understand, right? They feel good. Okay. Why habits are bad? True. Although they feel good, no illicit sex. Okay. By indulging in illicit sex, one loses purity, wisdom, peace of mind, self-confidence, cleanliness, concentration, determination, vichar shakti, power of inquiry, and dharana shakti means power to grasp, and vivek, discrimination power. Vivek.
This applies to the vision, what goes on the screen, movies, social media,
Yes,
everywhere.
yes.
It even subtly too. This will be
Definitely. What Shah Rukh Khan and Salman Khan are trying to project. Life is good. Why bad habits are bad? Another example, no meat eating. When animals are slaughtered, their minds are filled with negative emotions of fear and violence, leading to adrenaline secretion. That's a gland sitting on the top of kidney, little cap on the kidney, adrenaline gland. And they secrete fear, suppression, fear of death is there. So animals can feel and they start secreting in order to make everything protective. So when we eat their meat, our minds become filled with similar negative emotion. Don't touch hot dogs. No intoxication. Drugs initially give a feeling of elation, but as soon as make one glide down to depression. By consuming intoxication, your mind is not your own anymore. The devil controls. It gives immediate flickering gratification without caring for the most dangerous consequences, such as even death. No gambling. Gambling leads to daydreaming, stripping us of the mental energy to utilize present opportunities. Becoming greedy to accumulate money, one may beg, borrow, steal, or even go to the extent of murder. It is the modes are influencing the human being to go to animal life. Refrain from agents harmful to your body, mind, and well-being. Isn't it a good lesson? What do you think? It's boring? You never heard before. You have to ask me a question. Okay. Non-veg, intoxication, gambling and illicit sex, or refrain that we are having. These are the ingredients. You can say, hey, Coke is not written. It's tea and coffee only written.
FC.
Not written.
It should be caffeine.
Okay.
It should just be caffeine.
No, so kind of compromises that. And the extramarital sex, obscene films, vulgar talks, everything has to be avoided. Now, understanding the mind is like a machine. Mind can make you happy or miserable, positive or negative, friend or enemy, active or lazy, calm or agitated. Did Krishna say something about the mind? If you can control your mind, you will act like a friend. Otherwise, it's the worst of the enemy. Manahi eva manushyanam karanam bandhamokshaya. Even that mind itself is responsible to liberate us or to put in the condition. So how long we can stay conditioned? In Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna explains even more what require air, ether, mind, intelligence, and ego. Altogether, this eight constitute my separate material energies. Besides this almighty armed Arjuna, there is another superior energy of mind which comprises of living entities who are exploiting the resources of this material inferior nature. Bhumira Punovayu Karmano Buddhirevacha Ankara Vidya Prakriyastada Aparemitastanyam Prakriti Vidyaneparam Jiva Bhutam Mahabhavaya Yadamkaya. The sustenance of the consumerism starts from the jiva. Because it wants to exploit the resource of material. All created beings have their source in these two natures of all that is material and all that is spiritual in this world. Know for certain that I am both the origin and the solution. Are you of your mind? You are out of your mind. What does that say? Very important. But you are not your. The living entities in this conditioned world are my eternal fragmental parts. Due to conditioned life, they are struggling very hard with the six senses, which include the mind. Manashasthani Driyani Prakriti. Karsati means struggle. The living entity in the material world carries its different conceptions of life from one body to another, as the air carries aroma. Thus, he takes one kind of body again and quits to take another. And so, even in our growth, the mind is influenced by the changes in the body, the hormonal changes. So it sends us into another world of, say, fantasy, confusion, non-cooperation. Everything is there. And everybody faces with the growing children. So, the living entity, thus taking another gross body, obtains a certain type of ear, eyes, tongue, nose, and sense of touch, which are brought about the mind, and thus the entity enjoys a particular set of sense objects. Our choice becomes different at different ages. You do not play with the dogs anymore. Right? Again, 15th chapter, 10th verse is the foolish cannot understand how a living entity can quit his body, nor can they understand what sort of the body he enjoys under the spell of the modes of nature. But one whose eyes are trained in the knowledge can see all. These are the information of real knowledge. And if we are not trained, then what will happen? The big grief. Right? We are the architect of our own future. But we do not know the knowledge how to put up infrastructure in our life of character. The working senses are superior to dull matter, mind is higher than the senses, intelligence is still higher than the mind, and the soul is even higher than the intellect. The closeness of our soul is to intelligence, not to the body. Mind has closeness to the senses. So why do we have to depend upon mind? Mind is a very distracting element. Therefore, we must conquer the mind right from the beginning. Brahmachari, Guru, Kule, Vasodhantam, Guru, Hitam, the control, not for his benefit, is going to Guru, but for the benefit of the Guru, where he will be trained. Go to school, you'll be benefited for what? Benefited by the effects of these three modes. And in the school, nobody teaches even more of goodness as the predominant. Only passion and ignorance. So, what is the value of such education? Can earn money by which you can fulfill your passionate nature? No. You are more than that. So don't be miser in getting that kind of education only. The real education we have to learn through our samskara. Thus, knowing oneself to be the transcendental to material senses, mind and intelligence, Almighty Arjuna, one should steady the mind by deliberate spiritual intelligence, consciousness, and thus by spiritual strength conquer this insatiable enemy known as lust. Lust is a product of passion, not of passion. So, how this mechanism works? The intelligence is the decision maker. The mind is the storehouse of habits, unfulfilled desires, and previous experiences. If they become prominent and make the foundation of our life, it's completely.
Gurudev, most of us are in a public school setting. All our children are going there. So in this setting, where the mode of ignorance and passion is high in that education, what is it that is there for us as parents or family that we can give to our children so they can anchor to mode of goodness, sustain that? So a navigation for us through this, whenever you think is
If you
appropriate.
analyze the modern education, it is a passionate education without the consequences. They don't care for the consequences. Kama esha krodha esha rajo mahasamudra. Mahashano mahapatma. Where it will drag you. They are generated by mode of passion, but the result of mode of passion is an unsatiable desire will divert your mind to commit anything and everything just to fulfill that unsatiable desire. Means what we will become victimized. And when the desire is not satisfied, it turns into wrath. And one who cannot control that, he loses.
So what should our children do and don't do in this setting?
Or what do parents
As
do?
analysis, now you can make a chart and see how does it fit. And put alternatives. For the best is Krishna conscious activities, engagement, what we are doing right now is best and unparalleled. You can't get it better off. Okay? So understand the value of consciousness. That is the only alternative. Prabhupada brought. But what we have to learn is about how to become master of our own mind. If we have conquered our mind, the mind will be the best of the friends. It will not disturb. But you should be the conqueror. So who can control the mind? Baba, give up the false association. Give up many things. You have alternative. Why don't you make an intelligent choice? Say yes to Krishna. How long you are going to say yes to your unsatiable passionate nature? So that's how. So mind is the storehouse of habits, unfulfilled desires, and previous experiences, where the senses are being exported. These senses, 5 senses, are given to us to know about our reality. Who are we? And what are we supposed to do? But if we misuse the senses, function, and just gratify them, then the purpose of consciousness is spoiled. Chariot of the, you know this, everybody knows this. Chariot of the body. 5 senses are 5 horses. Mind is the rein in the hands of intelligence, and soul is only a passenger. If the intelligence doesn't have the rein tight to control the horses, then what happens? Horses will go in that different direction. What will be the situation of the chariot? Going to collapse. And what will be the position of the soul? Is in total bewilderment. Precarious situation. Now we have to use this mental dialogue. Okay? Smoking habit. Mind feels, I am an engineer, I should know how to hold a cigar. I'm educated. I want to show off. Style. That's a bad habit. Intelligence should think like this. Not good for you. Your parents won't like to see you doing this. You may become addicted to it. Don't get into wrong track. Right? So this kind of dialogue should go. I think it is fun. Everyone is doing it anyway. I should experience what's life at least once. But you fool, why do you hurt yourself by this bad habit that wastes your money, ruins your good health, and may cause you cancer in the future? Stop it. Don't even dream about it. And you can file a lawsuit against that. Morris one, the biggest tobacco company in Virginia.
Yeah.
Marlboro.
Marlboro.
Mental dialogues. You should always remain proactive towards thinking. That is called mental dialogue. If mind Stronger mind means you succumb to bad habit. If intelligence is stronger, you can resist the temptation. What should be more strong? Mind or
Intelligence.
intelligence? You are intelligent. Thanks, Dr. Prabhupada. We need to develop spiritual intelligence. You know what is spiritual intelligence? It's called SQ. Otherwise, IQ is idiotic. IQ means ignorance.
Good question.
What is this IQ? There is no question in the Mensa that was the standard of, responding to the question. There is no question pertaining to
Spiritual intelligence.
spiritual activity, as if it's not existing. And they want to give only an informative on all different subjects of contemporary knowledge. And if you answer few questions, you will be considered very high IQ. What is the point? 260 plus IQ is called very intelligent. And Bill Clinton had that. Do you think he won his life? No. Intelligence doesn't mean it's an ignorant quotient. Spiritual quotient is the real pleasure. Your choice will mold your future. Okay? Don't say I didn't know. You must know. Life is made up of choices. The choices decide our future. Habits activate choices. Now starve bad habits. Abstain from bad people and bad objects. Supplements with good habits. Sustain with good association and good objects. Sustain through introspection and self-correction that is yet to come in children. We do not impose that, but at least we should have good association. This association is the best. You can't bet it. Okay? Stay away from tempting environment and association. Steps towards changing the behavior. All right? What is the step first? Unconscious incompetence is there, then conscious competence is incompetence is there. Incompetence means you can't compete with others. And unknowing is because you are not aware that you will have to compete in the society. Then even in marriage, competence is externally mentioned, whether the competent nature of both husband and wife is there, projections is there, So, but if one is unconscious of the competence, then there is a step that you are aware, you are taught that what are the traits that we have to just to feel like a complementary, any. If a wife has a better, say, accounting power or economic power, then the extravagancy of husband can be controlled, right? The Indian ladies are very powerful, very powerful. And previous time, they were not earning money. But yet, they will get money and spend frugally and save money and put behind the PhD. So nobody can stay. But that economy, is well, very well appreciated because they were the saviors of emergency. So conscious is there, but incompetence, it's not compatibility is not there. So that is the second stage. Now conscious and competent. It's a development. By experience, there's household, adjustments are coming, and we expect from the partner that they become competent. The conscious competence and unconscious competence is also. You are competent, you don't have to make somebody feel comfortable. That is the promoting, encouraging idea. So stay unconscious. Means do not project that, oh, you are aware of weight. No, keep it silent because it glorifies the functionality of the counterpart. So you become, very well appreciated in your contribution to some ideas. That's right. How to transform negative peer pressure by applying spiritual solutions to the material problems. Go and do meditation in Baba. Replace bad habit by good habit. Replace bad habit by good ones. That is good habit is meditate upon yourself. Yoga and meditation are currently very popular ways to control the mind and distress from all types of peer pressure. But these methods, if not properly applied, will yield only paltry and temporary results. Not very valuable. What is yoga? Yoga is expressed and Sanskrit also is yukta. It means the process of linking oneself to the Supreme. And all this Ashtanga yoga and all these alternative exercises that we need to train our mind. Dhamma, Dhamma, Tapa, Shotam, Shanti, Jnana, Vijnana, Brahma, Karma. Control of the mind, control of the senses. That is required. So, everybody can apply those in their life. It's not only Ramdev Baba, teaching you some asana or pranayama, but no pratyaha, no, nothing about samadhi. Even dharana is for them very avadharana. Dharana is conception of the Supreme Absolute Truth, but not the It is not there. An impersonal dharana is a hanging pie in the sky. So the idea is that yoga is not the full Ashtanga. And when the conception of the Supreme Absolute Truth was not the God, then it is worth meditating otherwise. Dharana must come before and after that followed by samadhi is not a typical twisting of Patanjali's process. Ramdev Baba refrained from high element of Ashtanga because he would say if you got this and not that. Oh, you need and take my medicine. So this is all about the essential learning that will be, required to control the mind. Best way to control the mind is
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Then- There are some quotes, people appreciate the monthly meditation. Then what do other religions say? That is also there. Krishna, Hari Bol. Anybody has any question?
What's on it?
Hmm?
I had one, you had described about the camera doing its own blood.